10 Surprising Restrictions Immigrants Face in California in 2026. Did you know that over 2 million immigrants living in California are at risk of losing basic rights they thought they already had? Or that some legal residents are being denied housing and even healthcare simply because of confusing laws or paperwork delays? It sounds unreal, but it is happening every day in the so-called land of opportunity. California may look like a dream on the outside. Sunshine, tech jobs, and diversity. But beneath the surface lies a complex web of restrictions, hidden rules, and silent struggles that many newcomers are never warned about. Even those with legal status find themselves trapped in red tape or facing unexpected setbacks that nobody talks about until it is too late. In this discussion, we are uncovering 10 surprising restrictions and real-life issues immigrants face in California right now in 2026. Some of them might shock you. Others might already be happening to you and you do not even know it yet. Restriction 1: Stricter employment verification systems. Imagine landing your dream job only to lose it days later because a machine could not verify your immigration status fast enough. That is the reality for many immigrants in California today. Since early 2025, California has fully integrated enhanced e-verify systems across most industries, including retail, construction, hospitality, and even some freelance platforms. This digital system designed to verify work eligibility sounds efficient on paper, but in practice, it has created a nightmare for many qualified applicants. Delays in government databases, mismatches in names, or missing digits on legal documents have led to massive rejections, even for immigrants with valid work permits or green cards. According to a 2026 report from the California Labor Rights Coalition, over 34% of immigrant job applicants reported being denied opportunities due to technical issues or verification errors. What is worse, most never find out why they were rejected. Just a cold email saying, "We have moved forward with other candidates." So what can you do? Before you even apply, triple-check your documents, including your social security number, work authorization dates, and the exact spelling of your name across all forms. If you have recently renewed your status, allow a buffer period before job hunting, and keep digital and printed copies of every approval notice. Also, get help from immigrant job placement centers or legal aid nonprofits. Many offer free services to review your employment eligibility paperwork. Do not let a system glitch decide your future. By staying prepared and informed, you can avoid unnecessary rejections and protect your path to stable employment. Restriction 2: Housing discrimination still exists. Finding a place to live in California can feel impossible already. But for many immigrants, the struggle goes far beyond high rent. Housing discrimination is still happening quietly and subtly, even though it is illegal under state law. Here is how it usually looks. You apply for an apartment. Your income is enough. Your documents are valid. Yet somehow the landlord suddenly says the unit is no longer available. Hours later, it is back online. For many immigrants, this is not bad luck. It is a pattern. In 2026, advocacy groups reported that immigrants are still being screened out because of accents, foreign names, limited credit history, or assumptions about immigration status. A statewide survey revealed that nearly 1 in 4 immigrant renters in California experienced some form of housing bias, and most never reported it. Why? Because people fear retaliation, delays, or simply do not know their rights. Some landlords also demand extra deposits, unnecessary documents, or proof that is not legally required, hoping tenants will not question it. So how do you protect yourself? First, know this. You do not need U.S. citizenship to rent in California. Landlords are allowed to check income and identity, but not immigration status. If something feels off, document everything. Save emails, screenshots, and listings. Second, work with community housing organizations or immigrant advocacy groups. They often know which landlords are trustworthy and which ones to avoid. Finally, if discrimination happens, you can report it confidentially to state civil rights agencies. Housing is more than shelter. It is stability, safety, and dignity. And no one should be denied that because of where they come from. Restriction 3, DMV delays and ID struggles. You might not think a driver's license is a big deal until you try to live in California without one. For immigrants, getting an official ID or license in this state has become one of the biggest hidden obstacles to daily life. Since the new DMV protocols rolled out in late 2024, wait times and documentation reviews have gotten longer and stricter, especially for immigrants. The DMV now requires multiple layers of identity verification, including foreign documents, translated records, and proof of California residency. Sounds fair maybe, but in reality, it is causing serious delays. Some applicants wait 3 to 6 months just for an appointment or approval. Without a valid ID, life gets complicated fast. You cannot drive legally, which means you cannot get to work or school easily. You might struggle to open a bank account, get medical care, or even access certain public benefits. And for undocumented immigrants applying under AB 60, the process can be even more confusing, with many being turned away for small paperwork issues. So what can you do? Start by gathering your documents early, even before you move if possible. Check the California DMV's official website for the latest AB 60 or Real ID requirements. If your documents are in another language, get them translated by a certified translator. And do not hesitate to book appointments months in advance since walk-ins are often unavailable. Also, connect with immigrant support centers. They often help with paperwork and can guide you through the process step by step. It is not just about getting a license. It is about unlocking your freedom, independence, and opportunities in a system that often feels stacked against you. Restriction 4, government jobs require citizenship. You may be qualified, educated, and ready to serve. But if you are not a U.S. citizen, many government doors in California remain closed. Even in one of the most progressive states in the country, immigrants still face major restrictions when it comes to landing public sector jobs. While California has opened up some positions to lawful permanent residents, a surprising number of jobs, especially in law enforcement, public education, health services, and city or county offices, still require full U.S. citizenship. That means green card holders, DACA recipients, and other legal residents are often shut out, no matter how qualified they are. In fact, as of 2026, it is estimated that over 40% of entry-level government jobs in California are not available to non-citizens. That includes positions that offer great benefits, stable pay, and long-term career growth. For many immigrants, this creates a frustrating reality. They can work in the private sector, but not contribute directly to the communities they live in, all because of a document. So what can you do? Start by identifying the sectors that are more inclusive, like tech, healthcare, construction, or social services. Many of these industries actively seek out bilingual and multicultural workers, and they are often more flexible with documentation requirements. If your goal is public service, consider starting in nonprofit organizations that work alongside government agencies. This can build experience and networks for when your citizenship is finalized. It is also smart to plan ahead. If you are eligible to apply for citizenship, start the process early. Some career paths may only open once that final step is complete. Your skills and voice matter. Do not let the system silence them. There are still plenty of ways to serve, grow, and lead, even outside the government bubble. Restriction 5, lost in translation, language barriers remain. California is one of the most diverse places in the world with over 200 languages spoken. But when it comes to legal and medical settings, language support is still shockingly limited. And for immigrants, that gap can have serious consequences. Imagine going to the hospital in pain, but the doctor does not understand you clearly, or standing in court unsure of what is being said and unable to defend yourself properly. This is not just frustrating, it is dangerous. Despite laws requiring interpretation services, many immigrants still face delays, poor translations, or no help at all during moments that can affect their health, safety, or future. A 2026 study by the California Public Health Institute found that over 30% of immigrants who needed language support in hospitals or courts did not receive adequate help. Some were forced to rely on family members, children, or even strangers to translate critical information, which can lead to mistakes, misdiagnosis, or unfair rulings in court. But here is what many do not know. You have the right to a certified interpreter in legal and medical settings. No matter your immigration status, it is the law. So what can you do? If you are facing a medical or legal situation, ask for a certified interpreter up front. Not just someone bilingual, but someone trained to translate in high-stakes environments. Bring your own translated documents when possible, and keep a list of legal or health terms in both languages. You can also connect with community groups that offer legal translation assistance for free. Do not suffer in silence or confusion. In a system where every word matters, understanding and being understood can make all the difference. Restriction 6. The public charge fear persists. Even though the rules have changed, the fear has not gone away. Thousands of immigrants in California are still avoiding life-saving public benefits like food assistance, healthcare, and housing support, all because of one thing, the public charge rule. In 2020, under federal policy, immigrants who used certain public services could be labeled a public charge, potentially hurting their chances of getting a green card or visa. But here is the truth. Those harsh rules were rolled back in 2023. Yet in 2026, many immigrants are still afraid to apply for help, even when they desperately need it. According to a recent report from the California Immigrant Policy Center, over 60% of immigrant families who qualified for assistance chose not to apply, fearing immigration consequences. Many parents skipped health insurance for their children, refused food aid, or stayed in unsafe housing simply to protect their future status. Misinformation, old fears, and rumors are still doing the damage. So what can you do? First, know that most California state programs like Medi-Cal, CalFresh, and rental assistance do not affect your immigration status. The updated public charge rule now applies to very few federal programs and only under specific conditions. If you are unsure, speak with a reputable immigration attorney or nonprofit legal aid service. Do not rely on social media or rumors. You have worked hard to build a life here. And you deserve support when you need it. Do not let fear or confusion keep you from accessing help that can protect your health, your family, and your future. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is asking for the help you are legally allowed to receive. Restriction 7. Immigration backlogs leave lives on hold. You did everything right. Submitted your forms, paid the fees, followed every rule. But months pass, then years. Still no green card, no update, just silence. Welcome to California's immigration backlog in 2026. The truth is, processing delays have reached record highs, especially in high-volume districts like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego. The system is overwhelmed, and immigrants are paying the price. Whether you are applying for a work permit, green card, asylum, or family-based visa, you are likely facing wait times of 18 to 36 months or longer. And the worst part is that these delays do not just cause stress. They can put your entire life on hold. You might not be able to travel, change jobs, or even renew a driver's license while waiting. Some lose job offers. Others miss family emergencies. All because a file is sitting in a queue with thousands of others waiting for someone to look at it. So what can you do? First, track your case status online through uscis.gov. Create an account to receive updates and estimated timelines. If your case is outside normal processing times, you may be able to file a case inquiry or expedite request, especially for urgent medical or humanitarian reasons. Next, do not wait in silence. Reach out to your local congressperson's office. Many have immigration liaisons who can push for answers or action. Also, Connect with local legal clinics or immigrant advocacy groups that specialize in stalled cases. Some offer free help and many have insider knowledge on how to speed things up. The system may be slow, but your life does not have to be stuck. Stay proactive, stay informed, and do not stop moving forward. Restriction 8. In-state tuition is not guaranteed. California is one of the few states that offers in-state tuition to undocumented and immigrant students. A huge financial break that can cut college costs in half. But here is what most people do not realize. Qualifying for this benefit is harder than it seems, and one small mistake could cost you thousands of dollars. Under AB 540, undocumented students and certain visa holders can pay the same tuition rates as California residents, but only if they meet strict requirements. You must have attended a California high school for at least 3 years, graduated or earned a GED in the state, and submitted the right forms every semester. Miss a deadline, provide the wrong information, or fall behind in credits, and you could lose eligibility fast. In 2026, education watchdogs found that 1 in 5 eligible immigrant students lost their in-state tuition status because of confusion, missed paperwork, or lack of support. Some did not even know they had to reapply every term. Others were told they qualified only to be billed later as out-of-state with no warning. So how do you protect your access to affordable education? First, get in touch with your school's Dream Center or Immigrant Student Support Office the moment you enroll. They can guide you step by step through the AB 540 process and help track key dates. Always submit your non-resident tuition exemption request early and save copies of everything. Also, explore state financial aid programs like the California Dream Act, which can offer grants and scholarships, but again, only if you apply correctly and on time. Education can be your ticket to a better future, but only if the system does not trip you up. Do not let a paperwork mistake steal your opportunity. Restriction 9, Sanctuary State, but ICE still finds a way. You might think that living in California, a sanctuary state, means you are fully protected from immigration enforcement. But the truth is more complicated. While state laws limit cooperation with ICE, there are still loopholes, and many immigrants are caught off guard. Here is the reality. In 2026, certain counties and local law enforcement agencies still find ways to communicate with ICE, especially when someone is arrested, even for minor offenses like traffic violations or missed court dates. Though California law, like the Truth Act, restricts ICE access to local jails, some sheriffs still notify ICE informally or fail to properly inform immigrants of their rights. This means that even if you are undocumented but living peacefully, one unexpected police stop could lead to detention, questioning, or worse, all without warning. And for people on temporary visas, green card renewals, or asylum claims, any run-in with law enforcement could jeopardize their status even before they get a fair hearing. So what should you do? First, know your rights. You have the right to remain silent, to refuse to sign anything without a lawyer, and to decline to open the door to ICE without a warrant signed by a judge. Keep a Know Your Rights card with you and give it to officers if approached. It can protect you from self-incrimination. Second, avoid risky situations like driving without a license or using false documents. These can lead to charges that ICE might use against you. Finally, connect with local immigrant defense networks in your city. Many offer 24/7 legal hotlines and rapid response teams if ICE shows up in your neighborhood. California may offer protections, but being informed and prepared is still your strongest shield. Restriction 10, Mental health struggles go unaddressed. Moving to a new country is hard enough, but doing it while carrying the weight of fear, uncertainty, and cultural isolation, that is something many immigrants in California quietly face every day. Mental health challenges are rising fast, yet they remain one of the most overlooked issues in immigrant communities. Studies in 2026 from the California Behavioral Health Institute reveal that only 13% of immigrant adults access mental health services even when struggling with anxiety, depression, PTSD, or trauma from migration journeys. Why? Because in many cultures, mental health is still stigmatized. Others do not trust the system, cannot afford services, or simply do not know help is available, especially in their language. This silent crisis affects everything: work performance, parenting, relationships, even physical health. Immigrants who face discrimination, job insecurity, and fear of deportation are especially vulnerable. And the worst part is that they suffer alone, often believing they have to stay strong and push through it without support. But the truth is, taking care of your mental health is not weakness, it is survival. So what can you do? Start by exploring free or low-cost counseling options through local immigrant centers, religious organizations, or cultural groups. Many now offer therapy in multiple languages, both in person and online. If you are in school or college, ask about mental health resources specifically for undocumented or international students. Even just talking to someone you trust, a friend, community leader, or therapist, can be a powerful first step. You do not have to face everything alone. Remember, mental health is not a luxury. It is just as important as physical health. And you deserve both. Conclusion: knowledge is your advantage. Living in California as an immigrant in 2026 is not just about chasing dreams. It is about navigating a system that is full of hidden barriers, outdated policies, and silent struggles no one warns you about. From job rejections due to system errors to housing bias, mental health stigma, and endless immigration delays, the challenges are real and they are affecting millions. But here is the good news. Now you know what to expect. And that gives you an advantage most people never get. Every issue we covered, from ID struggles to tuition pitfalls, has a solution. Whether it is getting the right documents, knowing your rights, or finding the right community resources, you now have the tools to protect yourself and your future. So do not let these barriers define your journey. Instead, let this knowledge fuel your confidence, your voice, and your plan. Share this information with someone who needs it. Help someone else take the first step. Because when one immigrant rises, we all rise together.